Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to start with the last video of the periodic table. In today's lecture, we will discuss group 8, which is also known as group 0, and the transition metals. So let's begin our lecture with the group 8. The group 8 elements are known as noble gases. Why they are known as noble gases? So there is a particular reason behind calling them as noble gases. But before discussing that reason, we can go through the elements of the group 8. The first element is helium, the second one is neon, the third one is argon, krypton, xenon. These are the elements of the group 8. First point is that the group 8 elements are known as noble gases. They are noble gases because they are inert in nature. They do not take part in any chemical reaction. Basically, the group 8 elements have 2 or 8 electrons in their valence shell. In their valence shell. So due to this reason, they have a complete octet and they do not take part in any chemical reaction. In the previous group, in the group 7 and the group 1, we have seen that the group 1 elements only have one electron in their valence shell. So therefore, in order to complete their octet, they donate their one valence electron. And in the group 7 case, they have 7 electrons. They required one more electron to complete their octet. So due to this reason, they receive one electron or they gain one electron to make their electrons 8. So in the case of the group 8, they already have 8 electrons in their valence shell. So they do not have any need to react with other elements to complete their octet. So therefore they are known as noble gases, and we also call them as inert gases. The next point is the uses of the group 8 elements. The group 8 elements are used for various purposes. The first is the helium, which is used in hot air balloons. The second one is neon, which is used in the advertising lights. Argon is used in welding and they are also used in bulbs. And the fourth one is krypton. It is used in laser, and xenon is used in lamps and motion picture projector. So these are the few points which you have to learn related to the group 8 elements. There is no as such detailed question on these things. And the last thing which you also have to remember that the group 8 elements are monoatomic gases. As we call the group 7 elements as diatomic gases, these group 8 elements are known as monatomic gases. It means the helium is this He. We do not write 2, 3, 4 after the helium. Why? Because it in the environment it exists in a singular form. So therefore it is known as monoatomic gas. So please remember that the group 8 elements are the monoatomic gas. They exist in a singular form in the environment. So the next heading is the transition elements. The transition elements are the special type of metals present in the periodic table. As you can see, this is the square block element which is present between the group 2. Here we have group 2, group number 2, and here we have group number 3. So the transition elements are the special type of metals which are present between group 2 and group 3 elements. So we can let's start with the points of the transition metals. The first point is that they are the block of present between the group 2 and the group 3, as I already discussed before. The next are the physical properties of the transition metal. In the exam you have two different type of questions related to the transition metal. Mostly they ask for the physical properties. They ask that what properties are different from the transition metals and the rest of the metals which are present in the periodic table. The first point is that these transition elements have high melting and boiling point. Uh, Although these are also the metals, but from the group 1 and group 2 metals, the boiling and the melting point of these transition metal is quite higher. For example, you can take example of the sodium, which belongs to group 1. This is the group number 1 member, and here we can take iron. So if there is MCQs where they have given you the number of options and they have two melting point for the elements and you have to choose the right one. So the sodium is, although the sodium is a metal, but still it has comparatively lower melting and boiling point as compared to the iron. For example, if there is a number 92 and there is a number 1135, so definitely the 1135 will be the melting point of the iron. I don't know the exact figure, I'm just giving you the example कि अगर आपको इस तरह से estimation के questions आ जाते तो please keep in mind कि the transition metals have the highest melting and boiling point among all the metals present in the periodic table. And same goes for the densities. The value of the densities is also comparatively higher of the transition metal rather than the other metals present in the periodic table. The next point is that they form color compounds. All the compounds formed by these transition metals are colored and we can identify their colors. For example, in the case of iron, we receive two different types of compounds. One is green and one is brown. In the case of the chromium, we get the orange color compounds. The magnesium give the around purplish pinkish color. So जितने भी elements आपके periodic table के अंदर present है, they all give you a color compound. The next point is they have variable oxidative state. For example, the copper which exists in +1 and +2 oxidative state, and the other one is iron which is exists in +2 and +3 oxidative state. These all transition metals have variable oxidative states. They have variable oxidative state. It means कि इनकी जो ऑक्सीडेटिव स्टेट है वो फिक्स नहीं है, it can change. So in the case of copper and the iron you had already seen कि इनकी किस तरह से जो oxidative state है वो change होती रहती है. The next point and the last point is they are used as a catalyst for the various reaction. Catalyst क्या होता है? For this abhi we will discuss this catalyst in detail in next chapters, but for now you can remember कि catalyst is a chemical species that speed up the chemical reactions. So these are the this is a kind of chemical species that speed up the chemical reaction. Are known such species are known as catalysts. So here I have written the two chemical process. The one is the Haber process and the second one is the contact process. But in the Haber process, the ammonia is produced, NH3 is produced, and in the contact process H2SO4 means the sulfuric acid is produced. So these are two chemical processes. In the Haber process we use iron as a catalyst, and in the contact process we use vanadium pentoxide as a catalyst. So please learn the names of these catalysts as well as the chemical reaction. They can ask you that in contact process which catalyst is used, in Haber process which catalyst is used, or what is Haber process, like what is a Haber process. So it's a process for the production of the ammonia, but in the next chapters we will discuss the Haber process and the contact process in detail. So this is the here I ends the chapter of the periodic table.